decided I was gonna go live today. You know, I ain't gonna lie, I've been busy, so I ain't really been focused on like doing videos. Been busy in real life. Even if I had a camera crew, I probably wouldn't be posting anything because I just really haven't been in the mood for it. So not only have I been busy, but I'm like exhausted, you know, so just haven't really even been feeling like doing videos. I know a lot of people be hitting me up saying, yo, did I drop anything? Because they've been looking. Is everything okay? Everything is perfect. Everything is fine. I just really been focused on real life and just ain't been feeling like doing no videos. That's been pretty much it. So I'm really jumping on here right now because, man, I gotta ask y'all what's going on. What is going on? Like, I see so much stuff. Well, let's say I barely be online at all. You know, I mean, I be online some to a degree, but like I definitely am not scouring social media, Instagram and Facebook and all of that kind of stuff. Even YouTube, I watch some videos, but I'm more so watching videos from an entertainment perspective, maybe a documentary, stuff like that. I'm not just like watching all the toxic conversations and this and that that's going on. I don't know all the different people who being indicted right now and stuff like that. But I pop on and some of the things that come through my feed, which I don't know why this stuff is coming to my feed because I'm not searching for some of this stuff. But it makes me wonder, what, like some of the stuff I see, I'm like, what is going on? What is actually, what? So it's like I've been away a bit, and since I've been away, the world has lost its mind. This is like the simplest way I can say it is like the content that I used to see or the things that I used to see happening. Of course, the stuff has been crazy. Stuff been crazy, but like some of this stuff, I'm like, what? What is? And some stuff, of course, I can't speak on because of professional reasons, but there's definitely some things I'm like, yo, what is happening? Okay, let me. I want to say this before we even get into anything else. For those of you who are looking to apply for any kind of jobs, so I'm an accountant. I have a professional accounting certification. CISA. It's also an IT certification. It's a DoD level 3. It's a DoD 8570 level 3 certification. Okay. So I have the certification, and unfortunately, I still cannot get in a position in audit. And this may sound crazy, but HR does not believe that, HR people that I spoke to, they do not believe that I have shown, or my resume proves that I have enough specialized experience in that space, in compliance and audit and stuff. They just don't think that my resume shows that. And I have my certification on there. I have my history working for an inspector general on there. And it makes sense, right? HR is not know your specialty, right? Like, say if you're a plumber and maybe the title of this position doesn't say plumber, maybe it says residential pipeline specialist or something. I don't know, like, you know, and maybe they can't just say, oh, this is a plumber job or whatever, or they don't know anything about what this means or that means. And I have this certification for this plumbing license, I have this, I have that, and they completely don't understand what that means. They're not going to even forward you along to the hiring manager or whatever. And this is from like major corporations, because I imagine this happens at most major corporations where there's a lack of understanding from HR on HR's part. And I'd like to say, at no fault of HR, there has to be a better process of accomplishing the task of this. Like they need to be working with a subject matter expert or something. Like I don't know, but so if me as a professional, an accounting professional, person who's worked in the industry for years, very high level, all of those kind of things, certified. If a person like me can get passed over for a position, it is. I mean, there's no other way to say it, but it's just from a lack of understanding of whatever that is, and it's happening. You know, I've heard plenty of people complain about this. I'm just still even more so just in shock myself of this last time. But you know, it happens, I guess, right? But how do we fix that? So for you guys out there who may be accounting professionals or finishing your accounting degree or trying to finish up some other platform, or maybe coming from a different career field, but it's similar enough to go, or maybe it's the same career field, right? Because this is the same thing I've been doing, and they still don't fully understand my situation. So just for explanation, so to get a CISA, along with most certifications, you have to have a couple years of experience. I believe it's 5 years of experience to get the CISA. So I had to show, I think it's 5, could be 2, but I think it's 5. Some things are like 2 years, some things are maybe 3 years of experience, but I believe CISA was 5 years, that you had to have like 5 years of experience to be certified. So you can take the test, but you still won't be certified until you get your years of experience, and you have to turn in the proof of this experience. So right there is 5 years of experience. If you see somebody who has a CISA, they've already had several years of experience. And so somebody will say, yeah, I don't know if you have any experience in this. It's like, well, you don't know what that certification is, do you? You don't actually know how any of this works, which is no fault of theirs. How could they, right? Like, if I had to hire somebody for an HR job and I don't know anything about HR, you can say, oh, I'm sure I'm certified. I don't see in your resume where it just jumps out and just tells me you know how to do this. Even though you might have highlighted everywhere in the resume that said this is where I do this. For whatever reason, there's still a missing piece here. I don't know. We got to figure something out though, because for somebody like me who reviews other people's resumes and thinking mine is on point, you know what I'm saying? For me, means that there's a much deeper dive that we need to do. And because I want you guys, whoever's in school for whatever you're in school for, you watch this channel, many are accountants who watch this channel, or accounting majors, or finance majors, or economics majors, things like that. I want you to be able to go out into the workforce and be able to get a job, right? Like, or start your own business. But I want you to be able to get some money from all of your years of hard work and stuff like that, and dedication, things like that. I want you to be able to go out and earn an income. How am I not, I'm not saying that I'm not able to, because I am. I'm earning an income, stuff like that. But how can I not even be recognized for a position based off of what my resume said? That is a problem. That is a problem. It's one that I need to fix for me, but I also need to fix for y'all. I need to figure out, I need to sit with an HR person who works in staffing at both the federal, state, and local levels, as well as for private industry. You see, you still do government contracts. This is Mike Trays. Mike Trays, what's happening? What's happening? So it's good to see you too, bro. He said, do I still do government contracts? Well, I do contracts like as they come. So I have people who are constantly doing government contracts, and if they have something that I can do, and they'll reach out to me and ask me if I want to do it. And typically it's yes. Lately I have an AAU basketball team for my son, and so I was basically on the road picking all these kids up, going to all of these games and practices and all that kind of stuff. I've had to pause that because I'm working on some other professional stuff that I have going on that's probably going to take me up until December. So I had to pause the basketball thing, but I was recently contacted by one of my people and was asking me about a contract for audit work. And so I'd be kind of overseeing that audit work for that contract if they are awarded that contract. So I'm open for any business. I'm open for business. I am open for business. But, at different times you have to shut certain things out. I know some people who take on everything in the world, and I probably used to do that too, but I don't do that now. Definitely don't do that. I haven't been like that in a while. But take on everything in the world all at one time and be stressed out. I don't want to be stressed out. I want to have a comfortable space when I'm doing stuff. I'm not in the mindset that I am in some sort of desperation phase where I just I'm freaking out at my job, or my business is going out of business, and I just have to break out of here and I have to do something, so I'm willing to do anything else. That's not where I am. So I am still doing contracts, but I don't currently have a contract right now, but we are waiting to hear back. And if people are awarded this contract, then I will be doing subcontracting more so on that contract, or project management or something like that on that contract. But it would be an audit related type of situation. So yeah. Are you doing contracts? Are you doing any kind of contracts? So anyway, for those who, and this is also including if you're doing contracting, right? Because you can do a proposal, and some of these things are going to say, excuse me, are you capable? Excuse me. Somebody's going to be assessing your capability. And basically that's what HR is doing. HR is assessing your capability when you're trying to get a job. On the government contract side, the contracting officers or SMEs are also assessing your capability. That's what a capability statement is. You're stating your capability. And so what happens if somebody doesn't know your capability? That's actually a risk. Like if I was doing an audit for HR or for contracting or something like that, like there could be there's a risk that the person assessing the capability does not know enough information to fully assess for the best candidate for the situation. That's a risk. And this is basically how audit is set up, right? So we mainly use the 5 elements of a finding, which would be like cause, criteria, condition, effect, and recommendation. So yeah, criteria is basically what should it be. So if your kid should have an A in math class and he has a D in math class, if they all have D's, you can do an audit on pretty much anything. But like say if we were going to do an audit on that, the criteria would be an A in class. The condition is he has a deed. What's the cause? The cause is, well, we have an assumption that the person, the mom is take a second job. So the mom, let's say the dad took a second job, so he's coming home later from work and he's kind of going straight to bed, right? So by the time he gets home, he ain't got enough time to really do too much. So he's going straight to bed. So the kid is staying up later by themselves. And so we find that the cause is the kid is tired at school because they're staying up later because nobody is checking on them. And so the effect is it's having an effect on their grades. It's pretty much that simple. And then the recommendation would be somebody need to be checking the kid homework or making sure the kid has a curfew, making sure the kid is in bed. Somebody got to step in. Somebody got to do something. Take some kind of measures towards that. And that's basically how we would assess most audits. Now, of course, there's a whole lot more to it, audit plans, audit matrices, all that kind of stuff. But I like audit. I use it all the time in my regular life. So, somebody get lost, you might want to turn your GPS on. That kind of thing. Like we can audit it. So anyway, we got to figure out some kind of way where, I got to look more into this. I definitely want to interview some HR people who work in staffing in different levels to see what they're looking for so that we can perfect what the resume process should look like. And of course, I know it wouldn't be perfect, but there's a huge gap. Maybe there's even something where we can create a program to bridge the lack of information, or lack of understanding between HR and like a career field, a particular career field. So I don't know. It's a lot of things to think about. But I just wanted to mention that. I didn't want to go on and on about that. But I do want to talk to you guys about all these ridiculous things that I'm seeing in media, okay? First, let's talk about Dr. Umar. What is happening? Do you guys follow what's going on with Dr. Umar? Because maybe you're not. I don't know. I don't know you guys following what's going on with Dr. Umar. But he's what I want somebody from the conscious community to come from. I don't know anything but a couple people watching right now, but is anybody on here of or from the quote-unquote conscious community? Please, if you are, please raise your hand in the chat, say I am something, put a $sign in the chat, because I need to have a heart-to-heart with y'all, because somebody need to police this situation. Somebody from the conscious community, needs to stop people from claiming the conscious community and they not conscious, okay? Using big words, is that all we consider is what considers conscious community? Is that what it is? I need to know. It's so many things. I watched a video, I saw a snippet of a video with him discussing the smell between a woman's legs that he was dealing with. And I don't know what's happening here. I don't know. I don't know how we get here. I don't know. I don't get into, excuse me. So, Piker Watching with JT, he's all about discovering fraudsters and things like that. I don't like fraud either. I don't speak too much about it because I don't like negative energy. But I am still trying to figure out what is happening, because people talk about the school thing and all of that. I don't care. People keep giving the man money. Hey, bro, get your money, dog. I ain't trying to stop nobody from getting their money. But when I see people saying the conscious community, and then I see some of the things that he says, there's no way that this is conscious community stuff. I'm conscious, okay? I'm conscious, I guess you could say. I would have to be a conscious, I would have to be of the conscious community. I don't know what other community I would fit in if I'm not, right? If there was even a thing, if this was even a community. But that don't mean I'm wearing dashikis and I'm trying to do that. I could be conscious and still know that I'm Black American. You know what I mean? Like, I'm educated. I know about our history, you know, that kind of thing. I know about politics. And, but is all this a scam? Is he a conscious community member? Is he really conscious? Because using big words doesn't mean you're conscious. And if you haven't seen, please go after this video. Don't leave now, unless you got another device. But watch a clip of him discussing the smell from between his lady legs that he was dealing with. You cannot think that a conscious brother would be doing it. It's impossible. This is not possible. Okay. Second, I do want to talk about this, and I probably need to do a whole video on this, like a separate video, because I'm really just on here just vibing. I'm here to grab some food real quick, but I feel like I got to talk about this in like a whole video. This is a whole separate topic, but I want to talk about these fake degrees. We got to talk about them. We got to talk about them. We got to talk about these fake intelligent people, these fake gurus. We got to talk about it. I don't really like, I'm not going to, you know, I ain't using no names and all that because that ain't my energy, right? But I do want our people to be smarter. I want our people to be smarter, okay? Let's talk about doctoral degrees. Just briefly. I'm going to go much further in depth on all of this. But let's just talk about degrees in general, all right? The first degree is an associate's degree. I know this probably is like, many of you probably got bachelor's and master's and doctorates and like, yeah, I already know this. Many people don't, okay? So just bear with me. The first degree, which is not the first level of education, you can get a diploma, you can get a certification, whatever. But the first degree is an associate's degree. Associate's degree, all right? Now you can get an associate's of arts or you can get an associate's of science. And arts just mean that it has more art-based and less science and mathematic-based classes. Like before you actually get into your major, you're taking more maybe humanities, arts, and world history. That kind of, you're taking more of worldly arts kind of classes than per se like math classes, biology and algebras and, you know, that kind of thing. So when it's more based in the arts, that's why it's an associates of arts, and that's the difference between an associates of science. Now, here's the thing. So as an accountant, basically an associate's degree as an accountant is kind of like useless. You're not really able to be an accountant until you have a bachelor's degree. But if you have an associate's of arts, you can still have an accounting degree, because many people think accounting is math. But remember, the arts versus science is just the first part of the curriculum that's not really into the major yet. So you can have an associate's of arts in accounting. Most people think you just can only have an associate's of science because that's what they're used to seeing. But no, you have an associate's of arts in accounting because the first part of it is not into the major. And accounting is actually not math. So if you thought that you're going to take an accounting class to qualify as a math credit, it won't. It's accounting. It is the language of business. Anyway, I digress. I'm just talking about the types of degrees. Next, you have a bachelor's degree. And you can have a Bachelor of Arts or you can have a Bachelor of Science. Same setup. All right? Same with the Masters. Masters in Arts, Masters in Science. Masters already? I'm driving. So next is Master's degree. And then after Master's, there are some things in between. You can do a specialist degree, which is in between, which can be in between that and a doctorate. Excuse me. So the specialist degree thing, not a lot of people don't know about it. A lot of educators know about it, stuff like that. Maybe doctors and lawyers and stuff like that. Not a lot of other people know about specialist degrees, but those typically sit in between a master's and a doctorate. Then you get your doctorates, right? So you have PhDs, you got JDs, you got MDs, a whole other little slew of like little smaller doctorate types. But those are doctorates. Now, to be a doctor, to have doctor on your name, this is why I want to bring this up, because a lot of people here with these doctorate degrees, but to have doctor on your name, you need to be either a PhD or an MD or something like that. A JD, a Juris Doctorate, is still a doctorate degree, but it does not carry the title of doctor. It carries the title of Esquire, I believe, Esquire. Or maybe just JD, I don't know. But, so if you want to have doctor on your name, you need some kind of PhD or an MD, right? Now, when these people get these honorary degrees, a lot of churches can give out seminaries and stuff like that. They can give out these honorary life degrees. They are, they can give out these like church degrees, but they're not practical outside of church stuff. And I see a lot of those things kind of be given more so because a person has gone so far in their religious studies or something like that, and so they give them like this doctorate degree. But then I see these honorary degrees as well. These honorary degrees, when you see a celebrity or whoever was given an honorary degree, that degree is not, they can't use that doctor title outside of being in the school publication. So in the school publication, they're free to use the doctor title. When they put them on program, the person is going to speak, they can call them Dr. Casino is the name. You can call me Dr. Casino is the name if I don't know, Clark, if FAMU gave me an honorary degree, an honorary doctorate, I can come there as Dr. Casino is the name. I can do that while they have me on their program. I can't leave there and start using that on my resume as Dr. Casino is the name. See what I'm saying? So when I see people on Instagram and they got their doctor titles and they got these fake degrees that they haven't never done a dissertation or they never did this and they just paid for them, that is fraud. That's fraud. Whether or not you know it's fraud or not, well, how could you not know it's fraud? Like there's a lot of people have like this plausible deniability, like, oh, I didn't know it was fraud. You knew it was fraud. You paid for the degree. They pulled it to the side and said, hey, if you want to just give me some money for this degree, give me $500, and my fictitious school will award you a degree and all of that. And people going for it, right? And that's fine. If that's what they're doing, I don't care. Do what you do. But don't be parading around here like don't be in conversation with somebody that said, and they talking about like what they, why they trying to earn what they trying to earn in school. And you're like, why are you even doing that? I even got a doctorate. That ain't doing enough for me. You don't have a real doctorate, sir. You like, don't throw that out here like you done went to college for real. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And they say it is like a matter of fact. It gives them, see, the problem is people will say, oh, this degree didn't do anything for me. But they're using, or they'll say, oh, I hate school. I got a doctorate, but I hate school. You know what I'm saying? School is just a setup. It ain't doing nothing for me. You're using your school, even when talking negatively about it, as credibility for your situation. When they introduce you on speaking engagements, and you got this fake degree, but you done put on here that you're a doctor from Casino is the Name University, and they're announcing you, oh, Dr. such and such, Dr. Wells, Dr. James, from Casino is the name. You know, Dr. James has a doctorate in philosophy and Christian ministry. But it's like, what? He's a doctorate in Christian ministry. Like, what are we talking about here? Is he a pastor? Nah, he just went and got this religious degree because they have the ability to give out these church degrees. It's ridiculous out here, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right? This is people out here with doctorates and they ain't got no bachelor's degree. Come on, man. Get out of here. Get what? What has the world gone to? Huh? What has the world gone to? People out here with no bachelor's degree and they got a doctorate. So you can have a doctorate with no master's degree. You can do that because typically doctorate programs outside of PhD, they only look at like an MD and a JD. They're looking for your undergrad. Excuse me. But no PhD program that I have come across would let me do a PhD without getting a master's degree, which doesn't make any sense. Because if I do a PhD, it has no real practical usage unless I plan on being a professor, you know, teaching or something like that. So it's easier for me to get a JD, which is a Juris Doctorate. It's easier for me to get a law degree, which is very practical because I can sit for the bar exam. It's easier for me to get a JD, which when I say easier, I mean less time. I don't mean the curriculum is easier. I mean less time. I can go straight to law school from an undergrad, but if I go to the PhD program, I still have to go to get a master's degree. That's an additional 2 years on top of before I even enter into the program. It's only 3 years for the JD. The JD is only 3 years long. So by the time you'd even get accepted and get your first year in your PhD program, somebody could have a JD and be studying for the bar. And they could do way more with that law degree than just teach. And they still have a degree. I mean, they still have a doctorate. But anyway, it's so much random stuff, man. It's so much stuff I can't currently talk about. But man, it's crazy out here. It is crazy out here. And I know I just been, you know, I've been away for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I come back, I get online, I don't know what direction we headed. It's crazy. But anyway, I just want to come on here and talk to you guys about that. Right now you're watching Casino is the Name. By the way, if you can, please smash the like button. I'm definitely going to come back on here more often and just chop it up with y'all. See what y'all got going on. But yeah, let's get this money. You know what I'm saying? They say you look good, you feel good. So, you know what I mean? I feel pretty good. So hopefully I look pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, right now you're watching Casino is the Name. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and we out.